Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. At least 6 people have died and 5 others are wounded in eastern Japan as record rainfall pummels the Chiba prefecture near the capital Tokyo. The rains, which authorities have described as unprecedented, cut power to more than 20,000 households, while 7,000 travellers were stranded overnight at Tokyo's Narita airport. Local authorities issued a level 5 emergency warning. It's the highest alert. This was downgraded to a level 4 by Friday morning, but authorities continue to warn of landslides and flooding risks. The deluge comes after a series of storms swept through Japan and neighbouring countries this week, in what's been forecast to be an unusually active typhoon season. Counting is underway in Zambia after voting closed in the general election where President Hakainde Hichilema was seeking a second 5-year term. In order to win outright in the first round, a presidential candidate needs more than half the votes cast, otherwise a runoff election is triggered. Polling day was largely peaceful, with queues reported in many areas and only isolated delays. The more than 8 million registered voters had the chance to elect a president, MPs and local councils. The vote was seen as a test of Zambia's reputation as one of Africa's most stable democracies, amid concerns that political freedoms are being undermined. Thousands of US military members who have lived aboard an aircraft carrier for more than 250 days are reportedly contending with food shortages, broken plumbing, and exhaustion, leading to lawmakers demanding answers from the Pentagon and pressure the Trump administration over the Iran war. Military news outlets reported that some USS Abraham Lincoln sailors had attempted to jump overboard, while families have raised concerns about mental health aboard the ship. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth called reports of conditions completely misrepresented. The carrier left to California in November for the South China Sea and was then sent to the Middle East ahead of attacks on Iran in February. The deployment, which was originally set to end in May, has been repeatedly extended. No return date has been announced.
There is an expectation that during times of conflict that the Pentagon is focused on the well-being of the force and that they will respond accordingly. So we'll see how Hegseth handles this. Simply just brushing it off and pretending that it doesn't exist may not fly with people who see it in their daily lives or see it through their families.
Verified videos show a major oil slick washing up on Iran's Qashem Island, which analysts have said comes from a ship hit by a strike in the Strait of Hormuz. Satellite imagery also suggests the oil spill originated from an attack on a vessel in Omani waters on August the 3rd. A week later, the apparent fuel leakage from the Minoan Pioneer bulk carrier had spread across a large area of the strait. Environmental experts say the spill threatens wildlife, protected ecosystems and fishing communities around Qashem, which is home to mangrove forests, nearby coral reef habitats and nesting sites for critically endangered turtles. Iranian media initially reported the origin of the pollution was under investigation, and Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson said its source was a foreign bulk ship.
And I therefore do hereby declare that Nigel Farage is duly elected as the Member of Parliament for the Clacton constituency at this election.
A parliamentary investigation into Nigel Farage has resumed hours after he won the Clacton by-election. The Reform UK leader secured 22,239 votes in a contest which was boycotted by major Westminster parties. Count Binface came second with 9,455 votes. The by-election was triggered when Farage resigned as an MP last month. 8 illustrations by French artist Henri Matisse that were stolen from a library in Sao Paulo have been recovered by police in Brazil. The works, which have a combined estimated worth of around $200,000, were found at a home in the town of São Bernardo do Campo, a suburb to the south of the city. A 44-year-old male suspect was arrested at the scene. During the heist at Biblioteca Mario de Andrade on the 7th of December last year, 2 thieves overpowered a security guard and an elderly couple who had been visiting the library before making off with the artwork through the main entrance on foot. 3 other people were previously arrested in relation to the case. And a San Francisco couple doing garden landscaping have unearthed a 150-pound stone sculpture with an intricately carved face buried deep beneath their Russian Hill lawn. They suspected it may be the work of Ralph Stockpole, a celebrated Art Deco sculptor who once taught nearby, though experts say that without a signature it's impossible to confirm. Either way, the couple have swapped a patch of grass for their own private gallery. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.